Good evening, everyone, and welcome back. This time I'm going to talk about some tips to Disneyland, like how to have, like what best advice for Disneyland I can give you. So we'll start off first and foremost, tickets and reservations. You have to have both, a ticket and a reservation, because otherwise you can't get in. Because yes, you could have a valid ticket, but you need to have a reservation. So yes, you got to pick the day you're willing to go and stick with it. Although I did hear if you did have to change it, supposedly you can change the day in some cases. I'm not sure how that would exactly work, but from what I hear, it is possible to do. So, yeah, as long as you have the reservation and the ticket, you're good. You're good. Second advice thing is get there early. Get there early. Especially if you're going to go on a weekend, get there early. I mean, even if you have to go down the night before, stay at a hotel, it's worth getting there early. I mean, especially if you go early in the morning, you get on like your first few rides and attractions with no lines almost, depending on which ones you're planning to hit first, without a doubt. Second, I would say is definitely, I mean, at least from my experience, use the Genie Plus. Yes, it costs a little extra per ticket on when to get on using it, but it's worth it. It is totally worth it. At least from my experience, the only thing you got to remember is you can only use it once per attraction. Like you can use it once on Indiana Jones, once on Star Tours, once on Space Mountain, Matterhorn, etc. Whatever's listed on there. Once each time. But it's totally worth it though. At least from my point of view, it was totally worth it. When I went on my last trip, it totally worked very well for me and the friend I went with for their birthday. So it was totally worth it. Highly recommended. So yeah. Another thing, if you have Disney gift cards, bring them. Heck, you can even use them towards buying your Disneyland tickets or passes. Because trust me, it is totally worth it. Absolutely, totally worth it. And yeah, absolutely worth it. And yeah, I mean, it's great for the food, great for the carts. Yeah, I guess the carts are now starting to accept them. Yes, you can still use cash, but they are trying to somewhat lean towards the cashless side, but they do accept cash still. So that's a good sign either way. But the gift cards, very handy. Very handy indeed. Absolutely worth it and all that. Third thing, bring your water. Bringing water is not a problem as long as it's closed when you first go in. Because, yes, there is no rule against bringing water as far as I'm concerned. And I've brought in water before and never had a problem. I think as long as you keep it closed first before entering, you're good. So, yeah, definitely recommended there. So, yeah. And then let's see. Next tip, try to get to Rise of the Resistance first thing in the morning, if you can. And if it's operating, of course, because I know it's had some breakdown issues at times, and that can be frustrating as well. I know Indiana Jones has the same problem as well, but at the same time, if you can get those ones early, you're in good shape. Absolutely in good shape on those two. And yeah, totally worth it. And then for the fireworks, find your spot, stick to it, and yeah, you'll be able to enjoy the show from then on. So yeah, these are mainly my main tips, Disneyland. So to review first, your parks and reservations, and pay for your parking ahead of time too. That way they just scan your app, scan through your app, boom, you're good. Absolutely worth it to have it. So yeah, highly recommend getting the Disneyland app. Absolutely totally worth it. So it's helped me on the 2 trips that I've done since Disneyland's reopened. And both times, very memorable, good times. A lot of fun. So yeah, follow these tips and you will be good to go. And until next time, I'll be back again soon.